In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create Visual Composer charts, line graphs, bar charts, donut charts, pie charts. I'm going to show you all the visualization options available for your data inside Visual Composer and how it all works. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, then hit the bell notification icon so YouTube actually tells you when I publish new stuff. And with that out of the way, let's head in the screen capture and start learning some stuff. I'll see you there. The first step to adding Visual Composer charts is having a page to add them to. So I'm going to go to Pages, and then click on Add New. And you can add this to an existing page if you want, if you're following along, or just watch what I do and then do it after. I'm going to call this VC Charts. Click on Save Draft. And then, as always with visual type stuff, I'm going to head over to the front end editor, which makes this a lot cleaner and easier for me to visualize versus the abstract back end editor. That Save Draft didn't work the first time, I had to do it again. Click on front end editor to go to there, and then we have our Add Element button here. Click on that and look for the charts icon, which is right here. There's a whole bunch, well, not a whole bunch, but there's 4: progress bar, pie chart, round chart, line chart. Let's do the line chart first. It's actually line and bar charts, both at the same time. So we can see what it looks like. It's pre-populated with some data. It's pretty much done, which is pretty awesome. All you have to do is go in and change a few settings and change the actual data, which is pretty easy. I'll show you that in just a second. But it's built already, ready to go. Change the style from flat to modern. Click on Save Changes to see what the modern looks like versus the flat. Just a darker border outline. You can make it custom, which looks like this, but then you have to custom style it all down here, which is fine. But I prefer to base it on the flat usually because that's the easiest one to customize, I find. So we have the flat. We can have a legend, yes or no. You can show values on hover, yes or no. So when you hover, does it show the numbers for August, blue 25, red 35? For the x-axis values, you have them right here, separated by a semicolon. And you can have, it doesn't have to be months of the year. This could be corporate locations. This could be days of the week. This could be whatever you need to have on the x-axis for as many as you need. There isn't a limit that I know of for how many you can have down there. The only functional limit is the width of the page. And if you want this to work on mobile phones, how is it going to look when you have 52 x-axis values and you're looking on a small screen? Might not look that great. So the x-axis values, add them in here, separated by a semicolon. The y-axis values are added in here. There's 2 pre-populated. You can change the name of them using the title. The values you add here match up with the x-axis values. So the number 10 is going to match up with the first x-axis value of Jan. The second y value, second x-axis value. And that's how those line up. And the color, you can just pick a different color really easily. Click on that little drop down, changing the color. Click on Save Changes to see that change happen. Then the number 2 is the other bar chart entry. And again, same thing. Y-axis values match up to the x-axis values. You can easily change the color. And then you can add more if you want. Just add that plus or click that plus icon. It's going to copy and paste these values. I'm going to call this number 3. Values will be that, and color will be juicy pink, because who doesn't love juicy pink? Now we have 3 data points for every month. We can have it animate, which it is currently. Whenever we click Save Changes, if there has been a change, it animates it in the cubic. But you can choose different animations if you want. There's the bounce. There's elastic. There's back. I'm not going to go through each of these. You know how to pick a different one from the drop down and see what it looks like. I'm not going to bore you with that. The CSS animation is for the overall chart. So if you want the chart to fade in, for example, choose the fade in animation, Click Save Changes and see what that looks like. That option was actually pretty hard to tell, so let's do one that's easier to tell. Bounce in, down. Save Changes. We're going to see bouncing from the top, and that was much easier to see. The only drawback is that the back animation here for the overall bar chart growth happens at the same time as the bounce in. So the animation here is already done by the time it bounced in. So you want to choose none for the animation so you see the cool chart animation. You can add an ID and a class name, as always, if you want to have help or extra selectors for CSS. For our design options, we can add margins, border, paddings like every other element. You can add a border color, border style, border radius, and a background color or a background image for the chart. For the title up here, you could enter My Great Chart, for example. Click on Save Changes, and it's going to add it right up here. The only drawback to this is hard to select with CSS, and there's no options to really change the chart title style. So if you want to make any drastic changes to how this displays this widget title, you're going to have to use CSS, and it's hard to select. So what I usually do is I don't enter the title there, and I just add a custom heading element which has all the CSS settings right in there, right in the options panel. So now that we've customized this bar chart how we want it, we can actually change the design just by clicking on this design dropdown and clicking on line. And then Save Changes, and it's going to show us how this looks with lines. There's only 3 lines, or sorry, there's 3 entries but only 2 lines appear. So perhaps the third one doesn't fit. Only 2 allowed. I'm not sure why it wouldn't show all 3. It should. So just rearrange these and see what happens. Oh, duh. I had the same values for number 2 and number 3. That's why it's not showing. So let's just change that to 40, this to 13, this to 6. And now we'll see some variation. We'll see all 3. Now we see all 3 lines there. And that is really all there is to the line and bar charts. So I'm going to just save changes again, close this, and we're going to add in a round chart. Really easy, just point and click, super simple. Here's the round chart slash currently pie chart, pre-displayed or pre-created. We can choose pie or donut as our design options. Click on Save Changes whenever you make a change to see those changes take effect. Style, flat, modern, custom, same as before. The gap, this is the size of the gap right here, this white line that we see. So we have options of 0, 1, 2, and 5. So 5 is the biggest. I'm going to make it the 5. Show a legend, yes or no, which is this item right here with the 1 and 2 in the colors. Hover over for values. Number 1 is 60, number 2 is 40. If you don't want that to show, uncheck this box. And the values are right down here. We have the title of 1. I'm just going to expand this a little bit. Title of 1. If we click on this up arrow, we can change the title, we can change the value, and change the color. Here's number 2. Click on the up arrow for its options. I just added this one a moment ago. It's currently blank. I'm going to call it number 3, and the value is 5. And you can click this plus icon to add another one. So number 4. Well, we're going to make it a 101. And then click on Save Changes to see those new entries that we added. I'm going to change this color to purple. Now we can see it updating our chart here. The animation, again, same as before. So we have the same kind of animations available. We also have the CSS animations. This is before, but again, it's a little different for this one because this one takes a long time to create. So we could bounce down and still have enough animation time for the chart for it to create itself. But even with this, I think that none is the best. Too many animations on the same element can get distracting. And then after we customize it all, we again just choose the pie design to change it to a pie, and just to see what that looks like, to save that. Now I have a pie chart, and that is pretty easy. And the very last one we can add of the charts will be this little plus icon. we have a pie chart, which is similar to the pie chart we just did, but there's a lot less customization options, and I don't think it looks as good. But we're just gonna click on that to enter a pie chart, and we have one pre-filled with a number 50. We can change the 50 into text here. Whatever text you enter here will be placed in the middle where the number 50 is. For units, I'm just gonna add percent. I'm gonna keep it as 50. The color, I'm gonna change to orange. Not gonna animate it, click on Save Changes. And now we see we have half of our pie, which is just a ring, in dark orange, and then the other half in light orange, denoting 50%. If we change this to 75, the dark orange will take up 75% of the circumference up to here, and that is the pie chart in that pie chart element. I much prefer this one up here. It looks so much more like a pie chart to me, personally. I like that one much better, but you also have the option of using this minimalist one. And then the last one we're going to cover is the progress bar, which is right here. Click on that to enter the progress bar and see the option settings. And it's pretty simple. You've seen these before on some websites, I'm pretty sure. But we have our values. We can adjust them, change the label name, change the value amount, change the color to a green. For this one, same thing. Labels, value, color, pink. Because again, who doesn't love pink? Too bad there's no hot pink on this one. Oh, there's a juicy pink. That's the one I meant. Anyway, missed the juicy pink. Change that one to black. We can add more if we want to, just by clicking this plus icon. We can change the units. If we want to have a background color, we can choose it here. I like to add the stripes or the animation. I like to add one of them because they're both pretty cool. I'm going to show you what they look like right now. If we click on Save Changes, our stripes look like this. They're striped. And then if you want to add an animation, the animation only works with stripes. So we click on Add Animation here, click on Save Changes, and now the stripes will be animated. It looks like, well, not looks like, they're actually moving, which is the animation, which is pretty neat. So that's how we do the progress bar. And again, all of these things, not again, but for the first time, all of these things you can add to columns. So for example, if we had 1/4 column, we can have our development or our progress bar right here. I'm going to move the pie chart into this one. And this pie chart, I'm going to move right here. Move that guy into the 3rd column and move this chart into the 4th column. I always find it incredible how well these things adjust to the smaller size. They look good when they're big, but they still look good when they're small. It's awesome, I love it. But here we have all 4 of them now in one row, and they still look pretty good. And that's all there is to charts in Visual Composer. You can adjust these a little more using custom CSS. I don't know why you'd want to, because they're pretty great out of the box. As you know, Visual Composer is a premium plugin which you can buy from codecanyon.net. If you buy it through the link below, I get a couple percentage of the purchase price. There's no extra cost to you, but what I'm going to send to you if you buy it through that link is my complete Visual Composer course for free. Because basically I'm being paid by the Visual Composer instead of paid by you. So I'm going to give you that course for free. All you have to do is send me the receipt after you purchase Visual Composer, and I will get you access to that course. If you have a theme that has Visual Composer, so you don't actually buy the plugin, you won't have access to the template library and a couple other features, but I will give you a heavy discount for the Visual Composer course if you have a theme that has Visual Composer. So if that's the case, just send me an email at bjorn@WPLearningLab.com. Say you have such and such a theme with Visual Composer, and I will send you the discount information. So the next step is go ahead, click below, buy Visual Composer, send me the receipt, learn all about it in my complete course, and start building awesome stuff with Visual Composer. I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below this video. If you haven't done so yet, click subscribe, then click the bell notification icon so you're actually notified when I publish more tutorials for you. And with that out of the way, click on one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you get even better at WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.